and doing fine. Those of you who are there, can I have some replies in the chat box? So I can see that yes, people are there. 30 people have joined. Can I have some of the replies in the chat box? That would be great. So those who have joined the session for the very first time, hi everyone, welcome to our Ask IITians channel. So for more such interesting content like today's, you can just subscribe to our channel. You can just press on this bell icon and you will get subscribed to the channel. So as we all know, we over here at Ask IITians has already started the series of the discussion of these sample papers which has been released by CBSE for these 2023 boards exams for both 10th grade as well as the 12th grade. So we have already started the series. Many of our faculties or many of our experts from different subjects have already talked about, like we have already done with the discussion of science of 10th grade. Then yesterday, I guess we had a discussion of biology. Then you must be having for maths, and whatever subjects are left, you will definitely be having it in the coming day. So just so that you, because do not miss out on to any of these information, I would definitely recommend to all of you who's been new to this channel, please just click on this like button and subscribe to the channel so that you should not get aware of any of these interesting contents that we are posting. So first of all, guys, today's session we already know is all about discussing the sample paper that has been released by CBSE for your 2023 boards exam. So how many of you have already gone through that sample paper? Those who are watching, I can expect responses. How many of you have exactly gone through that question paper already? If you have, how many of you have already gone through that question paper? How many of you have seen that sample paper released by CBSE? And if you haven't, guys, no worries. That's the whole point of having this discussion today. We will be doing the thorough analysis of the sample paper. We will definitely be doing the thorough analysis of the sample paper. But the main thing over here is, obviously, the main purpose of releasing the sample paper is something so that students get aware of the pattern of the kind of question that has been asked. But in the final exams, you can always be prepared for any kind of surprise. Anything can happen. These sample papers are just a way of making ourselves mentally ready that yes, these are the kind of questions or these are the pattern that will be asked. What exact kind of questions or what exactly will be the level of the question, that is something you can predict. But be ready for any kind of surprises if there are going to be in the final exam. So be ready for that. Okay. So the best thing, if you people are actually, that is one thing that I like the most. They have introduced MCQs. It was supposed to be a part of your curriculum from long time. Now it has been officially added. So it started last year when they have introduced this term 1 and term 2 concept. So term 1 was all about objective question, term 2 was all about subjective questions. So this year the final paper is a mix up of both, that is subjective as well as objective. The whole point behind introducing this concept of objective parts or objective questions, guys, is because they want you to develop this logical reasoning, or they want you to develop this critical thinking skills. And that is something that will be very much helpful for you while you will be writing any sort of Olympiads exam or any sort of competitive exams, be it your engineering, JEE, NEET, any kind of competitive exam. If I'm talking about SAT, there are nothing but objective kind of questions. And you know the major difference between subjective and objective kind of questions are, for objective questions, if you know the answer, you know the answer. If for subjective questions, you can write something and you can have the stepwise mark. But objective questions, easy to solve, quicker to answer, and good for the mark. In short, you don't have to worry about, oh, I forgot to write this, I forgot to enclose this in a box, I forgot to mention or label the diagram. These are all the worries that you do not at all, you don't have to do at all for the objective question. because no one will be asking us how exactly you have solved the objective question as long as you're getting the right answer. So you don't have to worry about writing the formula in each and every step. You don't have to worry about talking about the calculation of each and every step. Just click on the correct option, move on. Time saving, good for the marks, good for the percentage. That is the best part about this MCQ. So let me just share my screen with you so that we can have more thorough discussion. In the meanwhile, if you all, those who are watching right now, if you people are able to see me, hear me properly, can I have a thumbs up in the chat box? So I can see that yes, everything is going fine. Those who are watching right now, can I have the thumbs up in the chat box if you people are able to see or hear me properly? Come on, guys, thumbs up only, I'm asking. I can see people are watching, so just a thumbs up would be great. Okay. So Niranjan has given me, Abdur has given me. Okay, perfect. That's great. Fine. So without doing further ado, so let's talk about, let's dive deep into the analysis part. So before moving ahead, guys, we already know in chemistry, if I'm talking about those who don't know me, those who has joined the session for the very first time, let me introduce myself as well. Hi everyone, my name is Kajal. I am a chemistry expert over here at Ask Ideal. So now you can easily imagine that today we are going to talk about the detailed analysis of a chemistry question paper that has been released by CBSE. So let's go into that mode. So chemistry, if we are talking about, guys, so generally, and we all know that there are three major portions that we have. So this year, we basically have a total of 10 chapters, I would say. Yes. So we have a total of 10 chapters. Total chapters, if we are talking about this year, the one that has been retained by the CBSE, some chapters has been deleted. So I'm not talking about those chapters because that is not of our concern as far as board exams are something that we are discussing about. So we have a total of 10 chapters, and we know chemistry is divided into three categories. You have physical, inorganic, and organic. So based on the analysis or based on what I have gone through in the question paper, so guys, I have analyzed that physical chemistry, they have asked for 22 marks. Inorganic, they have 14 marks. And organic, they have 34. So this is exactly what the distribution of your total 70 marks is. You have physical of 22 marks, you have inorganic of 14 marks, and you have organic of 34 marks. And that is completely justified by looking at the number of chapters also, because we have maximum amount of chapters in organic. So you have the total content of 34 marks. Minimum, you hardly have 2 chapters in inorganic this year, guys. That is your DNF block elements and coordination compound. So it's like 14 marks. Fair enough. So equal weightage, even if we are talking about, then also 7 marks per question per chapter, not a bad thing. Then in physical chemistry, you have 22 marks. So definitely, these are the distribution that we have on an overall situation, like physical is this, inorganic is this, organic is this. We will be going into the detailed version of each and every chapter as well. So based on this analysis, we can easily say that they have done the evenly distribution of everything because we have more number of chapters in organic. So we have more marks compared to that. Least number of chapter we have in inorganic, so the distribution is like that. So guys, the mark distribution is not equal because the number of chapters are not distributed equally. Okay. Now let's talk about how exactly the marks are distributed with respect to each of these branches. So physical chemistry, if we are talking about, guys. So let's start with physical chemistry first. So physical chemistry, if we are talking about, physical mein, these are the 3 chapters we have. You have solutions, you have electrochemistry, and you have chemical kinetics. So this is exactly how the distribution of the marks. So if you know, we will go into the detailed version analysis as well. So we basically have what all kind of questions. So guys, this year we have 1 mark question, which is nothing but your objective questions. Then we have 2 marks question, which you can say short answer type question or very short answer type question, 2 marks and 3 marks question, in which you have short answer type questions. Then we also have 4 marks question. And we have 5 marks question. So this is exactly how the distribution of the marks is like. You have 1 mark, 2 mark, 3 mark, 4 marks, and 5 mark question. All the variety we have. And so this is exactly how we have done the distribution of the marks as well. So solution chapter, if I'm talking about, if we observe carefully, so from this chapter, we are targeting a total of 7 marks. What we are targeting a total of 7 marks. So you have one question of 3 marks and another question of 4 marks. Now coming to electrochemistry, we have a total of 8 marks. So one 1 mark question, that will be nothing but your objective type question, definitely. 1 2 mark question and 1 5 mark question. So perfect distribution, we can say. And coming to this chemical kinetics, so guys, we have 3 objective kind of questions, because this is the kind of chapter where they will definitely want you to apply more of your logical reasoning as compared to your ratification wala knowledge. So definitely we have these small conceptual based, or I would say application based logical reasoning question based on your chemical kinetics. So you have 1 question, or I would say 3 questions of 1 mark each, then 2 questions of 2 marks each. So making a total distribution of, I would say, 7 marks. So total distribution of 7 marks for this chemical kinetics. So fair enough, almost equal distribution we have. Guys, one more thing I want to clarify at this point of time. If you are comparing this distribution of marks with one of the blueprint that has been released by CBSE initially, there is gonna be some mismatch of 1 or 2 marks, not more than that. So it's not something that you should not be adamant about the fact now that CBSE has released this blueprint, so they will only, or I would say they will only be setting up the question paper based on that. 1 or 2 marks over that thing will work. So this will justify that we have a total of 22 marks for our physical portion, depending on distributed equally, I would say. Definitely almost equal distribution. Distributed equally among your 3 chapters, that is a solution, electrochemistry, and chemical kinetics. Let's move on to our inorganic. As we already have discussed, we hardly have the 2 chapters of inorganic. One is your DNF block chapter and the other one is your coordination compounds. So if you look at the distribution of marks in DNF block, so we have 2 objective type questions and 1 5 mark question. So making a total of 7 marks for this particular chapter. And if we move on to this coordination compound, 2 1 mark question, 1 2 mark question, and 1 3 mark question, again making a total of 7 marks. So perfect distribution of equal marks for both the chapters of inorganic and making a total of 14 marks as we discussed initially. Okay. Don't worry, once we do the complete analysis of the question paper, we definitely will be discussing that these are exactly the concepts from which we have to go through, or which actually need more of our effort and time. Because guys, this sample paper is gonna give us a brief idea about what to expect in the exam. We can't be for sure that since they have asked the question based on this concept in the sample paper, they will also be repeating the same thing in the final exam. We can say that yes, because we know these chapters or the syllabus is something which has been there for many years. So we know that we have analyzed these many questions, we have analyzed these many papers, so we have a rough idea that yes, these are basically the topics from where definitely a question will be asked, like haloalkanes and haloarenes, if I'm talking about this. No matter whatever kind of exam will be it your school exam, any kind of competitive exams, we know there will be a question based on SN1 and SN2. Because that is something, that's the whole gist of this chapter. So similarly, while doing the analysis of this question paper, obviously we will be making sure, or we will be extracting those concepts or those topics which we feel is of importance to us, but that doesn't give us the guarantee that since the topics has been already asked in the sample paper, so they will also be repeated. And this will also not give us the guarantee that since they have already asked in the sample paper, that they will not be repeated. So we can't just We can just make an assumptions based on these. We can't be 100% sure or we can't be 100% certain of anything, because I already told you in the beginning of the session, be ready for any sort of surprise or shock that CBSE may throw at you in the final time or during the final exam. So prepared for that. But we have to make sure that we are having a preparation so strong that no matter whatever they are giving us, we will be able to pass through that thing with time. That is exactly what our preparation should be like. And that is something we definitely will be doing. So we will anyhow be going rigorously through this process. That is exactly what we are doing throughout our academic part or throughout our academic year at Ask IITs. But definitely, we will be practicing more and more as we keep on getting closer and closer to that final boards, which everyone is so scared of. Okay. So coming back to the third part and the major chunk of your syllabus, organic. And I would say the one that most of you like and the other half of you hate. So there's a love and hate relationship with organic. If you know it, you know it. If you don't know it, you don't. You can't do anything. Organic is like that, guys. If we know the answer, we know the answer. We can't just do any tukka work over there. Yes, if you are very good with the guesswork, it might work. But just like in inorganic or in physical, we know we can note down the formula, we can write down the formula, and we will be able to get to a particular point in our question. But organic is not like that. So that's why most of the students have this, what I would say, love or hate sort of relationship. If you try understanding the organic, I can bet on this, it will be the most easiest part for you. But if you are struggling with the basic concepts, definitely it will be like a nightmare. And that is what happens with most of the people, or I would say specifically most of the students. Okay, fine. So guys, I already told you the major chunk of our syllabus is in this part. Just assume, because we have a total of 10 chapters and 50% of the chapter is under this organic. 50% of the chapter is under this organic, but making a total of 5 chapters we have. That is actually combining physical and inorganic together. So, and these are the 5 chapters that we have. Haloalkanes and haloarenes. So if you look at the distribution of marks, so we have a 1 mark question, 2 mark question, and 3 mark question. Perfect. Making a total of 6 marks for this particular chapter. Alcohol, ether, and phenol, if we are looking at 1, 1, 1, 3 1 mark question they have asked, and 1 2 mark question, 2. So making a total of 5 marks. So guys, this is a particular chapter which I feel they have given somewhat a less of an importance, but actually this chapter is holding a very good weight. So we can see some more distribution or some more questions for this particular chapter in the final exam, because what I have felt, although they have tried to cover most of the important topics, but still there are some things that can be asked more from this chapter. So I can expect some more things coming up. Then obviously you can't get rid of this chapter. That is your aldehyde, ketones, and carboxylic acid. That's already something, it's like it holds 40% of the syllabus of organic together, which is the lot. So if you can look at the mark distribution, definitely we can easily expect a 5 mark question. Then you have a 3 mark question, and then you have 2 1 mark question, making a total of 10 marks for this particular chapter. And I can easily say this part, this is going to be the maximum marks for any particular topic. No matter whatever is the distribution for all the other chapters of organic, this particular chapter will be holding the maximum weightage. This particular chapter at any day will be holding the maximum weight for sure, because we know the importance of this chapter. Okay, then coming back to these amines, we can see a total of 6 marks we have. 1 3 mark question and 3 1 1 mark questions. So that will be your objective type questions. Then coming to the 5th part, That is your biomolecule. So guys, I already told you, just like these chapters, biomolecules, polymers, chemistry in everyday life, these are the kind of chapter which hold a special place, especially in the paper setter of this competitive exam, be it your JEE or NEET. Now, since they have already deleted polymers and CED, that is your chemistry in everyday life. So the one chapter now which has become more close to their heart is this one only, biomolecule. They love to ask questions from this because this is the kind of chapter which is actually giving you the importance of this chemistry in your day-to-day activity, in your day-to-day life. And science is all about that. How you can make a better understanding of the world around yourself based on whatever you are learning. Okay. So biomolecules, a total weightage of 7 marks. We have 1 4-mark question, 1 2-mark question, and 1 objective question. Okay. So guys, subjective kind of question is something that you can write something. They are kind of question where you can write at least 1 or 2 lines, if not anything else. And you will be able to score some. But the actual struggle that we will have will be with the objective kind of questions, my bad. So we will for sure be discussing each and every question that they have in this objective category. And definitely we will go through the other question in the subjective question part as well. Now I'm expecting all of you, or I'm expecting answers from all of you, or I'm expecting you to be active in the chat box while we will be discussing or analyzing our question paper. Because for sure, guys, till this time, I guess no matter from whatever batch you are belonging to or from wherever you are studying, your syllabus should be at least completed till this aldehyde, ketones, and carboxylic acid. For the last 2 chapters, that is amines and biomolecules, I can expect some of you will have the knowledge, some of you won't have the knowledge. But for all the other chapters, I am expecting you people to answer. So guys, this analysis you can assume can be like an analysis of your preparation as well. You can also be able to identify that the solution chapter, which has been taught to me in the very beginning of this academic year, how much of those concepts have I actually retained till this day? So make sure that you are also giving your 100% so that you can identify these are the chapters that I'm comfortable with, and these are the chapters or these are the concepts which needs revision from mine. Okay, fine. Now without doing further a delay, let's start, or let's have a look at the question. So guys, before beginning any question paper, the very basic thing that we have to do is go through the instructions. You can't miss out on the instructions. You have to definitely go through the instructions. So look at that. So there are total 35 questions. Okay, perfect. We have 35 questions. We have already done with the distribution of marks. So section A is consisting of 18 multiple choice questions. So we have objective kind of questions. The perfect one for us, carrying 1 mark each. Then you have your section B, which consists of 7 very short answer kind questions carrying 2 marks each. So you basically have 18 questions. So you basically have 18 questions of 1 mark. So making a total of 18. You have 7 questions of 2 marks, making a total of 14. So definitely, guys, the total marks will be 70 only. And you have 3 hours ka time. Okay. So you have 70 marks, 3 hours, and 35 questions. Fair enough amount of time. Especially for chemistry, it's more than enough. Then section C, we have 5 short answer kind questions carrying 3 marks each. So it's like 5 into 3, making a total of 15 for this section C. So we have a total of 5 sections because we know we have 1 mark question, 2 mark question, 3 mark question, 4 mark question, and 5 mark question. Simple. So section D is consisting of 2 case based. So guys, this is something that they have introduced last year, and this is something that they have continued this year as well. Case study kind of questions or case based questions, where they will definitely be asking you more about the application part. So that is another interesting thing that they have introduced from last year. So there are 2 case based questions carrying 4 marks each. So making a total of 8 marks. Then your section E consists of 3 long answer kind questions carrying 5 marks each. Okay. So we can expect either it will be an entire long question in which you have any of the, like many of the organic reactions, or it can be parts, or it can be a numerical, including more than one concept. So this 5 mark question can be as in any way. So you have 3 questions of 5 marks, making a total of 15. So if you just do the tally, it will give you a total of 70 marks. So guys, we have 5 questions. All questions are compulsory. So there is no as such option given to you. That means out of 40 questions that you have to attempt any 35 questions. Such a kind of thing is not there, but definitely they have given you some internal choices. So internal choices, that means for one question, they will be giving you 2 options, either attempt this one or attempt this one. But there is no other choice apart from that. What exactly do we mean by other choice? That out of 40 questions, attempt any 35 questions. Such a kind of thing is not there. But yes, they are giving you some internal choice. So that's good. Okay. Now let's start discussing or analyzing the question paper exactly. And as I already told you people, I am expecting the answers from everyone, especially for the chapters that you people have already gone through. So guys, this question paper is like an eye opener for you people as well. So you can actually see how much of the knowledge right now is something that you have retained. Okay. So make sure that you are being active in the chat box. So let's jump on to the first question, guys. So again, in section A, they haven't given any internal choice to us. Okay, perfect. No worries. We know how to deal with objective question. That is something we have been preparing ourselves for so long. So we don't have to worry about dealing with these objective kind of questions for sure. Okay, perfect. So let's look at the first question. What they're asking us in the first question, let's quickly jump to that now without doing any delay. The major product of acid catalyzed dehydration of 1-methyl cyclohexanol. So guys, while discussing the question, I will also make sure that I'm writing the chapter from which this question is belonging. So as we can see, easily I can say the chapter is belonging to AEP. Short form I'm writing alcohol, ether and phenol. So what do you think? What will be your answer? Acid catalyzed dehydration. So as soon as we see this word dehydration, we know we are talking about loss of water. Dehydration means loss of H2. And 1-methyl cyclohexanol. So 1-methyl cyclohexanol. So this is the structure that I can have. I just have to simply tell the answer that what will be the elimination product or dehydrated product of this. So guys, quickly, I'm waiting for your answer. Responses in the chat box, quickly, quickly. What do you think? What will be your answer? It should be A option, 1-methyl cyclohexane, 1-methyl cyclohexene, 1-cyclohexyl methanol, 1-methylene cyclohexane. What do you think? What would be your answer? Okay, I am getting a response. Chandraba gave me the answer. Quickly, I'm expecting answers from others as well. Guys, be active in the chat box. Be active in the chat. Okay, B or D. No guesswork. Just give me a single answer. It should be B or D. Because this is, assume it like a final exam for you. Okay, Niranjan has also given me. Quickly, other people, I can see there are many people watching the session right now. So I want all of you to be active in the chat box. Guys, quickly, all of you active in the chat box. Okay, okay. Getting the answers, getting the answers. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Yes. So guys, we know it is a dehydration reaction. You can easily apply the Sage-Zaff rule. According to Sage-Zaff rule, what do we do? So let's say, Bacha, this is my alpha carbon. This is my beta carbon. This is my beta carbon. So there are 2 types of beta carbon, but both the kind of beta carbon are same. So no matter whether I remove the hydrogen from the left hand side or from the right hand side, it's going to be the same thing. Perfect. So I can easily remove the OH from the sulfur and H from any of these beta. Let's say I'm removing from this right hand side. So now this is my product, which is nothing but 1-methyl cyclohexene. Perfect. So all of you gave me the correct answer. That is option B. Great. Without doing any delay, let's quickly move on to the next question, guys. Which of the following compound is more reactive towards SN1 reaction? As I already told you, There's gonna be many questions of SN1 and SN2. That is exactly what this entire chapter of haloalkanes and haloarenes are. So this is our HH. So H is in short haloalkanes and haloarenes I'm writing. So guys, what can be the answer for this? Which of the following is more reactive towards SN1 reaction? So SN1 reaction, we know there is this formation of carbocation intermediate. And this carbocation intermediate will be responsible for greater stability of or greater reactivity of the reaction or greater reactivity of the product compound. So tell me, what do you think? Which one will be the one which will be more reactive? The one more reactive will have more stable carbocation because we have carbocation as the intermediate. So quickly tell me the answer for this part. Quickly. Will it be the first part? So guys, do one thing, just remove this bromine, put a positive charge on the carbon, try to check the stability of the carbocation. The one in which you get more stable carbocation will be your answer. That's it. So tell me. Waiting for the answers from everyone, definitely. Not getting a single answer till now, guys. Why it's taking so long? The question is not that difficult. Quickly, answers. Okay, I got one answer. Good. Yep, guys, others, answers. Okay, look. If let's draw the carbocation in all of them. Okay. So I will be removing this Br. I'll be putting positive over here. Let me just minimize the size of this a bit. Yes, so I will be removing this Br. I will be putting positive over here. I will be removing this Br. I will be putting, so this is C6H5, CH2 positive. Then for this part, C6H5, CH positive, C6H5, and then for the D part, C6H5, CH positive, CH. So guys, these are the 4 carbocations that we have. CH. Now, what do you think? Which one is more stable? Guys, it's the C part which is more stable. This is the most stable carbocation. Why exactly this is the most stable carbocation? Because it is stabilized by resonance from both the ends. You have 2 C6H5 rings. What else you want? So C is the correct answer. You got confused over here. It's not D, it's C. Because in C structure, you have the resonance possible from both the ends. Okay, no worries. That is exactly the kind of thing we will be learning. And that is the whole purpose of this session, so that we can analyze the mistakes and not repeat them again. Let's go for the third part. KMNO4 is colored due to, okay, perfect. Good question, interesting question. DD transition. So guys, this is our CC, coordination compounds. So KMNO4 is colored due to DD transition. Charge transfer from metal to ligand, unpaired electron in d orbital, charge transfer from ligand to metal. So guys, color of the complexes, I guess everyone is aware of, is because of 2 reasons. Either it is DD transitions or it is charge transfer. Now the charge transfer can be ligand to metal charge transfer, which we call it as LMCT, or it can also be MLCT, metal to ligand charge transfer. Okay. Now look, KMNO4 if we are talking about. Okay, perfect. So if I want to calculate the oxidation number of KMNO4 or Mn in KMNO4, guys, it is +7. So manganese is in +7 oxidation number. So ideally it is a 3D0 system. So how are we saying that DD transition are possible? If there is no d electron present, how can you have the DD transition possible? So we have eliminated our option DD transition for sure is not there because there is no D electron present. So now we are left with charge transfer, guys. So either it can be metal to ligand charge transfer or ligand to metal charge transfer. So how exactly do we identify? We have a very basic funda of identifying the two parts. The charge transfer will be from ligand to metal if you have the metal in higher oxidation state. Like in this case, you have Mn in +7. Whenever the metal is in higher oxidation state, the charge or the color should be because of metal to ligand to metal charge transfer. And when the metal in lower oxidation state, like your 0 or +1, in those cases, it will be metal to ligand charge transfer. So we have our answer in front of us, that is charge transfer from ligand to metal, because manganese do not have any electrons to donate. Simple as that. Okay. Perfect. Let's move on to the fourth question then. Which radioactive isotope would have the longer half-life? Will it be O14 or O19? Okay, so there are two isotopes of oxygen given to me. Both of them are radioactive. That means they will decompose with time. One is oxygen 15 and the other one is oxygen 19. The rate constant for the two are given. We have to identify which one will have a longer half-life. Perfect. So guys, no need to solve the question. Just by looking at the information given to us, we will be able to answer. You don't have to calculate the actual answer. So look, what is the value of K? The unit of K is in second inverse now. And which order has the unit of K in second inverse, guys? Which order reaction has the unit in second inverse? Yep, people. Which order, which reaction order or which order reaction has this rate constant in second inverse? First order. And we know for first order reaction, T half is what? 0.693 upon K. So in short, we can say T half is inversely proportional to K. So the one with higher rate constant will have lower half-life or shorter half-life. We want to know about the longer half-life. So longer half-life, that means we have to worry about the one with higher value of K or lower value of K. Lower value of K, because just now we have established the fact now that K half and T are inversely proportional to each other. So guys, which has lower value of K? Is it O15 or O19? Definitely it is O15. 10 raised to the power -3. That's it. No need to do anything else. We are done with the question. Okay. Another interesting question. Fifth one, guys. The molar conductivity of CH3COH at infinite dilution is given to me. Okay. So molar conductivity of CH3COH is given to me as 390, and there is a graph given to me. Based on this information and the curve or the graph given to me, we have to calculate the molar conductivity of the CH3CO. Okay. Let's do that, guys. Interesting question called Rash Law. Okay. So this is your chemical kinetics. This question is also chemical kinetics or electrochemistry it is. This is electrochemistry, EC, let me write it as. And this is your CK, chemical kinetics. Chalo, let's move on to this question. So look guys, if we have to form or if we have to calculate the molar conductivity of the CH3COK, how exactly can we do that? By adding CH3COH, that is given to me in the question. And apart from that, from this curve, I can have this HCl and KCl. So what should I do with these three? How should I add, subtract, multiply, and divide them so that I can get the CH3CO? That is exactly what I'm doing. So I'm adding CH3COH, I'm adding KCl, and I'm subtracting HCl from this. And all these values are something that I want at infinite dilution. So for CH3COH, the value is already given to me as 390 Kelvin. For this KCl and HCl, how can I do that? By extrapolating the curve. So how can we do that? So look, this particular value is the one for KCl. So if you observe the curve carefully, it is 150. And this particular value over here, where the curve is meeting my y-axis, because guys, at this point only your concentration tends to 0. And that is the point of your infinite dilution. This exactly the point over here is of infinite dilution. So that is why we are talking about the last value, where it is touching the y-axis. So this value over here is 425. Perfect. I got everything. Just put the value. So 390 plus 150 minus 425. So guys, what will be the answer? 390 plus 150 minus 425. Come on, this is something we can easily answer. Quickly tell me. Let me just grab the water quickly and you tell me the answer. Quickly. $115. Yes, that's right. Perfect. We got the answer. Let's move on to the next one. Okay. So guys, this question that they are giving is for visually challenged learner because those who will not be able to see this, but still we can practice the question. So look at this one. What is the molar conductance and infinite dilution for sodium chloride? Perfect. We have to calculate for NaCl. And what they are giving us, if the molar conductance, oh, perfect. What else we want? They're already giving us for Na plus and Cl minus. So we just have to add the two together and we will be getting our answer. So it will be what? 51.12 into 10 raised to the power minus 4 plus 73.54 into 10 raised to the power minus 4. Just add the two values and you will be getting your answer. So the correct answer would be 124.66. That's it. Okay, let's move on to the next question now. 6-1. For the reaction A plus 2B giving AB2. Okay, perfect. So this again, guys, chemical kinetics, CK. So for the reaction A plus 2B giving AB2, the reaction or the order, okay, with respect to reactant A. Okay, so they are saying rate expression is equals to K A raised to the power 2 because it is second order with respect to A, and first order, okay, the order with respect to A is 2 and with respect to reactant B. One second, there is some incorrect information. So they are not telling us what is the order with respect to B. So the order with respect to A is 2 and with respect to B is something that they are not telling us. Okay, no worries. What will be the change? Okay. What will be the change in rate of reaction? The concentration of A is doubled and B is half. So guys, for this particular question, I guess there is some information that is not given to us because they are not telling us what is the order with respect to B. So let me just check the marking scheme once, what exactly they are doing. Okay. So guys, the question is incomplete because how exactly they are approaching this question based on that part. The order with respect to reactant B is actually 0. So you have B0. So ultimately our order is A raised to the power K into A raised to the power 2. Okay. So that means we don't have to worry about whatever is happening to the concentration of B because our rate is independent of concentration of B. Perfect. So let's switchly move to A. So if the concentration of A is double, so guys, if we are double or if we double the concentration of A, the rate becomes 4 times. And it will increase 4 times now. Why? Because you are doing the square of that. That's correct. Perfect. So A is our answer. Okay. Finally, we got organic question, guys. So we started with organic. Initially, it was physical now. Now let's come to organic. Okay. Arrange the following in the order of their boiling points. Okay. So amines. Okay. So from the question only, we can say that the question is based on amines. Perfect. Let's look at the question now. What they're trying to say. Arrange the following in the order of increasing order of their boiling point. And guys, we know what exactly is the order of boiling point. For amines, we have 1 degree, greater than 2 degree, greater than 3 degree. Why? The reason is hydrogen bond. There is maximum amount of hydrogen bonding possible in primary alcohol as compared to secondary, as compared to tertiary. So butanamine, this is my 1 degree amine. N dimethyl ethanamine, this is my 3 degree amine. N-ethyl ethanamine. So there's a typing error. So this is the only one. N-ethyl ethanamine. So this is my 2 degree amine. Now I already know the answer, guys. What is the answer? We have primary maximum. We have to calculate in increasing order. So that means B will be the least. That is 3 degree. Then you have C. Then you have A. Does this make sense? Perfect. Right. So B, C, A is the correct answer. That is option number C. Good. Now let's quickly move on to the next question. That is our question number 8. CFSE, okay. Coordination compound, guys. CC. CC का question. Coordination compounds. The CFSE of COCl6 minus is 18,000 centimeter inverse. Okay, perfect. What they are asking us, the CFSE for COCl4 minus. Okay, so in short, delta naught or delta O is given to us 18,000 because this is a octahedral complex, and they are asking us delta T. So we know the relation between delta O and delta T. We can easily answer this question. Delta naught is delta T is 4/9 times of delta naught. Delta T is 4/9 times of delta naught. So 4/9 into 18,000. So that will be what? 2,000. So the value would be 8,000. As simple as that. Let's move on to the next question. What would be the major product of the following reactions? Okay, so guys, AEP. Alcohol, ether, and phenol. Let's quickly jump to this question. Okay, so you have C6H5. Let me just draw the expanded version of this so you can easily visualize the thing. Okay, and we are adding HBr to this part. Okay, perfect. So we know in the first step what will happen. Protonation of this oxygen, OH positive. Now, where exactly the Br minus can attack? So there are two possible positions for this Br minus to attack. One is it can attack on this carbon, and the other is it can attack on this carbon. Do you actually feel that the attack on the right hand side is possible on this ring? Do you feel the attack is possible on this side? No, definitely not. This attack is not possible because aromatic compounds, haloarenes, hello, aromatic benzene ring does not undergo nucleophilic reaction that much easily. So it's not gonna be. Yes, Swan, that's perfect answer. Good. So guys, that means Br will attack over here. So just simply becomes CH2Br, and this part will be my phenol. So the option is D. C6H5CH2Br plus C6H5OH. Okay. Let's move on to the next question. What is this question? Again, amines, guys. Which of the following statement is not correct for amines? Okay, interesting question. Most alkyl amines are more basic than monoammonium. Yes, this is true. Why this is true? Because alkyl amines are the one which will have plus I effect. And because of this plus I effect, we know, guys, the basicity increases. Because if you remember what we have talked about in the basicity and acidity, basicity is directly proportional to electron donating group, EDG, we are talking about. So this statement is true. pKb of ethylamine, okay, and pKb is inversely proportional to basicity. Okay, so they are asking pKb. So if we can find the basicity order, pKb will be exactly opposite of that in simple sorted language. pKb of ethylamine. So let's look at this ethylamine. This is my ethylamine. Is lower than benzylamine. This is my benzylamine. This is exactly what we have. Is this benzylamine? Do people agree? Is this benzylamine or this is phenylamine? This is phenylamine. This is benzylamine. Okay. So what they're asking us, pKb of ethylamine is lower. So if they are saying pKb of ethylamine is lower, that means it is more basic. And it is correct, guys. This is true. Why it is more basic? Because there is this donating group over here. On the other hand, in case of this benzylamine, there is this withdrawing group. So withdrawing group decreases the basicity, donating group increases the basicity. So that means the first one, ethylamine, is more basic. So that's why its pKb value is low. That's true. Okay. Next one, CH3NH2 on reaction with nitrous acid. So guys, this is our way of identifying. We have NH2 and we are reacting it with HNO2. So these two things are our indication that we are talking about diazonium part. Diazonium, N2 positive. This is the indication of diazonium. So CH3NH2 on reaction with nitrous acid release NO2 gas. No. It release N2 gas. Diazonium, na. So N2 gas will be released. It release N2 gas. So this statement is false and we got our answer, that is option C. Let's look at the D option also, no worries. Hinsberg reagent react with secondary amines to form sulfonamide. That is correct. That is correct. There is this test of Hinsberg reagent which we use to distinguish primary, secondary and tertiary. So 1 degree and 2 degree will react. 3 degree ke case mein, guys, there is not any reaction. Those of you haven't done with this, once you go into the chapter of amines, you will be discussing this Hinsberg reagent, so no worry about that. Let's quickly move on to the next question, 11th question. Which of the following test or reaction is given by aldehyde as well as ketone? Okay, perfect, guys, very simple question. Aldehyde, AKC, aldehyde, ketone, carboxylic acid. Spelling test will be given by aldehyde only. Tolerance test given by aldehyde only. 2,4-DNP, yes. Given by both aldehyde and ketone. Because this 2,4-DNP is added. That's right. Cannizzaro reaction, only aldehyde. So we have the simple, straightforward answer. So how long it took you to solve this question, guys? Hardly 30 seconds. That's the beauty of these objective kind of questions. If you know it, you know it. Otherwise, just move ahead. Let's go to the next question. Okay. Okay. Again, we have a CK question, guys. That is your chemical kinetics. Arrhenius equation. So as soon as we have this name, Arrhenius equation, just write it down. So ln K is equals to ln A minus EA by R. Okay. What they're asking us can be represented graphically as follows. Okay. Perfect. So this is my Y. This 1 by T is my X. Okay. Perfect. The intercept. So guys, Y is equals to mx plus C. Tell me, what will be the intercept and slope? Intercept is ln A. Right or not? Intercept is ln A. And my slope, negative slope, minus EA by R. Yes, this is ln A. So C option, that's correct. Put ln A and minus EA by R. Correct answer. Let's move on to the next one. The unit of rate constant for the, okay, but we will be doing this question, although it's a choice, not for you people, for visually challenged learner. But still, we look at the question. The unit of rate constant for the reaction. Okay, perfect. We know the general formula for rate constant. What exactly is that? Mole raised to the power. What is the general formula we have? 1 minus n, liter to the power n minus 1, second inverse, where n is the order. So what they are saying in this case, okay, so guys, what is the order of this reaction? Can I say 2 plus 1, that is 3? It is second order with respect to A and first order with respect to B. So 2 plus 1, 3. So just put the values. Mole to the power 1 minus 3, liter to the power 3 minus 1, second inverse. So mole minus 2, liter square, second inverse. Option D is the correct answer for us. Again, this question is also of your CK. Let's move to the 13th question. Okay. The number of ions, solutions, guys, solutions. Chapter. The number of ions formed on dissolving one molecule of FeSO4, NH4 whole twice SO4.6H2O in water is pretty straightforward question. So you will have one molecule of iron, Fe2 plus, coming from this FeSO4. Plus you will have two molecules or two ions of this ammonia because you have NH4 whole twice. Along with that, you have two ions of sulfate, one from this FeSO4, other from this NH4 whole twice SO4. Right? So how many total ions we have? Don't tell me water will be in the form of iron. No. The degree of dissociation of water is very less. And we are already talking about this dissociation in water. So water doesn't dissociate in its own solution. So we have a total of 5 ions. Perfect. The answer is 5. You have a total of 5 ions. Good. Let's move on to the next question. Again, organic, guys. Okay. Your AKC question. Aldehyde, ketone, carboxylic acid. Name reaction. The oxidation of toluene to benzaldehyde by chromyl chloride. That is your CrO2Cl2. Guys, these preparation reactions should be on your fingertips. For sure. Should be on your fingertips. So this is, without looking any other option, we know it is an ETAD reaction. Toluene to benzaldehyde, ETAD reaction it is. So guys, the next 3 questions, that is your 15, 16, next 4 questions. 15, 16, 17 and 18. These are your session reason based questions where majority of you make the mistake. So guys, there is this trick that we use, or there is this proper process that we follow while answering these kind of questions. What you have to do, you have to read the assertion separately. You have to read the statement separately. First read the assertion, read the statement separately. Let's jump to that. Okay, let's read the assertion first. So according to the assertion, what they are saying, again, AEP, that is your alcohol ether phenol. And ether is more volatile. More volatile means low boiling point. Okay. And ether has, that means an ether is more volatile, that means it has low boiling point than an alcohol of comparable molecular mass. Do you think, guys, this assertion is true? Definitely this assertion is true. Why it is true? Because yes, boiling point of alcohols are more because of hydrogen bonding. Ethers are, so we have read the assertion, we know assertion is true. Okay. So we can easily cancel out or eliminate our D option. Let's move on to the reason. Ethers are polar in nature. This is also true. We know the bond of carbon and oxygen is polar. So this is also true. So let's eliminate our C option. Now, once you have identified that assertion is true, that reason is true, now what we will be doing? Read the assertion. An ether is more volatile than an alcohol of comparable molecular mass because ethers are polar in nature. Does this statement make sense to you guys? An ether is more volatile than an alcohol of comparable molecular mass because ethers are polar in nature. Does this statement make sense? No, it does not. Because ether is having lower boiling point because of the absence of hydrogen bonding, not because they are polar in nature. Polar in nature has nothing to do with their boiling point. Make sense? So our option is, our answer is B. Perfect. Let's move on to the 16th one. Okay. Proteins, biomolecules. We have biomolecules coming to us. Okay. Proteins are found. So guys, I guess most of you haven't done with this chapter. So I'll be discussing the answer. Proteins are found to have 2 different types of structures, alpha helix and beta braided sheath. This statement is true. It is exactly what S does. The secondary structure of protein is stabilized by hydrogen bonding. This statement individually is also true. But the type of structure has nothing to do with the type of stabilization. Statement A is talking about the types, or statement B is talking about the things which are stabilizing. So number of types and the stabilizing factors are not related to each other. So for this part also, the correct answer will be option B. Okay, let's move on to the next one. DNF block. Magnetic. So guys, let's read the assertion. Magnetic moment values of actinoids are lesser than theoretically predicted value. Do you think this statement is correct? Yes, it is correct. The magnetic moment is actually lesser than what we predicted it to be. Actinoid, so assertion is true. Actinoid elements are strongly paramagnetic. The reason is also true. They are strongly paramagnetic because there are many number of electrons, unpaired electrons present. And why exactly do we have large number of unpaired electrons present, Bacha? Because this excitation that happens between D and S orbital, because the energy difference between this D and S orbital is S and F orbital is very less. So they can easily move from F to S, S to F like that. So they have larger number of unpaired electrons. But that is not the reason why their values of, why their theoretical and experimental values are not matching with each other. So assertion and reason are true, but again, reason is not the explanation of assertion. So for this part also, guys, we have B as the answer. The only kind of thing that will get you confused, or that in which you will get confused, will be between this option A and B. So I already told you what to do. Read the assertion. If it is true, perfect. Read the reason. If it is true, perfect. Now, how to distinguish between A and B? Read the assertion. Like in this case, magnetic moment values of actinoid are lesser than the theoretical predicted values because actinoid elements are strongly paramagnetic. Doesn't make any sense. No. So not true. Chalo, let's move on to the next question. Given below are the two statements labeled as assertion and reason. Okay, guys. So we have two statements. Again, same. The amines. Again, next question we have for amines. Let's look at this. Tertiary amines are more basic than the corresponding secondary amines and primary amines. So, guys, they are telling us in gaseous state, and we know in gaseous state, yes, 3 degree greater than 2 degree greater than 1 degree. So this assertion is true. Okay, and let's look at the reason. Tertiary amine have 3 alkyl group which cause plus I effect. Okay, this is also true. Yes, it has 3 groups. And don't you think because of this reason only tertiary amines are more basic? Look, read the statement again. Tertiary amines are more basic than secondary and primary because tertiary amines have 3 alkyl group which cause plus I effect. For sure, it is making sense to us. What exactly else we want? So A is the correct answer. Understood? Guys, sorted? So we have discussed each and every question for objective kind, and that is what we were expected to do. Now let's move on to the other things also so that we can identify, we can have an overall gist about the other sections as well. So look at the section B. So we have very short time to identify which concept to apply with. Okay? So the first question is again a 50% completion. Okay. So that means, guys, T half is given to us as 69.3 minutes. Okay. What we have to calculate the time needed for 80% of the reaction. That is something we can easily do. From this T half, you can calculate the value of K. Once you can have this value of K, you can put it as 0.69. So we have this formula now, 2.303 by T log of A naught by T. Or in this case, 2.303 by K log of A naught by T. Just put it in this formula, you will be getting the answer. And every value of log is given to you, so you don't have to worry about that part as well. That's great. Okay. Then the next question that we have is from biomolecules. This is from biomolecules. Account for the following. Okay. So we have possible reason. Guys, 1 mark question it is. Each part is a 1 mark, so I would definitely not recommend you to give altogether a bigger reason. No. Just a 1-liner reason will be more than enough. So account for the following. There are 5 OH group in glucose. Okay, perfect. 5 OH group in glucose. So there is this reaction that we have. So the acetylation of glucose. So there is this reaction in which we have the reaction of glucose with this acetyl group, that is your CH3CO group, which prove that yes, there are 5 OH groups in glucose. Once you go through the chapter of biomolecules, you will be able to answer this question in a better manner. And glucose is a reducing sugar. Yes, it is a reducing sugar because it will be reducing Fehling solution. That can be the reason why it is reducing sugar. Okay. Or what happens when D-glucose is treated with the following reagent? Bromine water. So guys, bromine water is a mild oxidizing agent. We know what mild oxidizing agent will do. HNO3 is a strong oxidizing agent. We also know what a strong oxidizing agent will do. So that is something we can easily. Perfect. Let's move on to the next question. Okay, again, haloalkanes and haloarenes, guys. During the electrophilic substitution reaction of haloarenes, para substituted. Okay. So they are saying why para is the major product. We know why para is the major product. Because at ortho position, there are 2 reasons you can give. First one, we have minus I effect. And the other reason is the steric hindrance. Both these reasons will give me para as the major product. Now, the second option that they are asking. So guys, look, there is this internal choice for this particular question. For these 2 questions, they have given us the internal choice. So either you can do the A part or you can do the B part. Perfect. Okay. Okay. Let's look at the next one. What they're asking. The product formed during SN1 reaction is a Raceman mixture. Okay. What can be the reason for that? Why the product in SN1 is a Raceman mixture, guys? What do you feel? Why the product in SN1 reaction is a Raceman mixture? What exactly do you feel? Because, yep. Can I get the answer? Anyone? Why exactly the product formed during SN1 is a Raceman mixture? Because you have a carbocation formed. sp2 hybridized carbocation. So you can have the possibility of attacking, but not inversion. It is a Raceman mixture. So this is exactly how the carbocation will be. So ultimately your nucleophile can either attack from above the plane or it can also attack from below the plane, because there is no hindrance experienced by it. Because you have this sp2 hybridized carbocation which is planar. So that is the reason. Let's go to the next part. Name the suitable alcohol, okay, perfect, and reagent, from which 2-chloro-2-methyl propane. So guys, we have to prepare 2-chloro-2-methyl propane. Okay, let me write it down over here. Okay, perfect. We have to prepare this 2-chloro-2-methyl. Okay. So that means OH should be over here. This can be my alcohol that I can use. So I was simply just substituting this OH with Cl. And how exactly can we do that? With the help of this Lucas reagent do. HCl plus ZnCl2 will do my job over here. Correct? And since it is 3-degree alcohol, the reaction would be fast, very rapid, because the reaction involves the formation of a carbocation. So more stable the carbocation, faster will be the reaction. Does this thing make sense? Definitely. Now, out of chloromethane and chloromethane, which one has a higher dipole moment? So guys, we know we have an exception over here. Chloromethane is the one which has a higher dipole moment, because we have mu is equals to Q into D. So yes, polarity will be greater in case of chloromethane, but the distance, bond length, is also something that we have to account for. That is why chloromethane is having higher dipole moment. Simple. Okay. Let's go to this 22nd. That is your coordination. Again, CC question, guys. Coordination compounds. Okay, so the formula could represent a carbonate or a chloride. Fine. So isomers. So in one case, you can put the CO3 outside the square bracket. In another case, you can put the Cl outside the square bracket and you can give the answer. Those will be your two isomers. You can easily name the two isomers. Perfect. Okay, CK ka reaction, guys. Chemical kinetics. Corrosion is an electrochemical phenomena. So this is the reaction. The oxygen and the moisture react as follows. Write out the possible reaction for the corrosion of zinc occurring at anode. Okay, so we are having the corrosion of zinc happening. So obviously zinc will undergo oxidation, right? Zinc will undergo oxidation, Zn2 plus 2 electron. Reduction reaction is already given to us for oxidation. O2 plus 2H2O plus 4 electron, giving me 4OH minus. So just multiply the first equation by 2. Electrons will get cancelled out and add the remaining equation. That is your final equation. So what do you have? 2Zn plus O2 plus 2H2O, giving 2Zn2 plus 4OH minus. So bacha, this Zn2 plus 4OH minus will give me nothing but ZnOH whole twice. Simple. Okay, another question from CK only, guys. Many repetitive questions from the same chapter. Explain how and why will the rate of the reaction be affected. So we know the answer. How catalyst will affect the rate, how temperature will affect the rate. So you can easily do that. Perfect. Okay. Again, the next question we have. Okay, guys. Aldehyde, ketone, and carboxylic acid. Name of the product formed when 2-methylpropanol is treated with ethyl magnesium. So guys, this is the Grignard reagent, RMGX reaction you are doing with isobutyryl alcohol. So basically this is nothing but isobutanol. Isobutyryl alcohol is nothing but isobutanol. Okay, so we can do this question. So I wouldn't say the questions were way too complicated. They were pretty straightforward question you would be able to answer. Now in section C, guys, you have 5 questions. Internal choices are given. Okay. The questions are short answer type questions. So carry 3 marks each. So I would not recommend you to go beyond 3 to 4 lines. If there's an explanation included, perfect. So, okay. So guys, for the 26, you have 3 parts. So every part is consisting of 1 marks. So you just have to write the equation. Make sure whenever you are writing the equation, just keep one thing in mind. Whenever you are writing the equation, okay, mention the names of every reactant and product. Do mention the name of every reactant and product. Not only the reaction, but the names as well. And what kind of name? IUPAC name. If IUPAC name is there, otherwise For some of the compounds, we know their general names are more preferred or their common names are more preferred. So you can also write the common names. But do make sure whenever you are writing any organic equations, you are including the IUPAC name of each and every compound involved in the reaction. Okay. So salicylic acid is treated with anhydride in the presence of concentrated H2SO4. So guys, this is nothing but the aspirin preparation reaction given in the NCERT exactly like this. Tert butyl chloride is treated with sodium ethoxide. Williamson, but since this is a 3-degree alkyl halide, so rather than undergoing substitution, this will undergo elimination. Don't forget this. Then phenol is treated with chloroform. Oh, come on, Riemann-Tiemann reaction. So guys, as we have already discussed many a times, we know how important these name reactions are. So they've already asked the question directly on a TAD reaction. This is another name reaction, Riemann-Tiemann. So we know how important these reactions are. So this is a mix-up of the question from, I would say, your haloalkanes as well. You have your aldehyde ketones as well, and you have your phenol as well. So no as such. So 1 mark from each of the 3 chapters. Now, what they're asking using, okay, so again, coordination compound, guys. Using valence bond theory, explain the following in the relation to the paramagnetic complex. Okay, so you have to talk about, so guys, these are the kind of question that we have already done. For the complex, hybridization, shape, magnetic nature, all of that is something that they're asking us, so you can easily do that. So for 3 marks question also, you have some of the internal choices. Now, the kind of question that I actually want to discuss from you, A are these. Section D, guys. This is the trickiest one because case-based study question, although it has nothing to do with the paragraph, but we should look at the paragraph to understand the questions that will be asked will be on what particular topic. So this paragraph is basically based on the DNA structure. Since most of you haven't discussed biomolecules yet, so I will skip this part and I'll move on to the next question. Let's see which chapter is that question belonging to. So that will be easier for us to understand. Okay. So I guess the next one that we have is from solutions. Yes. Okay. So let's look at this question. This is from the solution. Okay. So here I'm investigating the melting point of different salt solutions. Okay, fine. She makes a salt solution using 10 ml. Okay. So she has the salt solution made using 10 ml of a water with a known mass of NaCl. Okay. She puts the salt solution into a freezer and leaves it to freeze. Fine. That means we are somewhat talking about freezing point depression. She takes the frozen salt out of the freezer and measures the temperature when the frozen salt solution melts. So we are measuring the freezing point, guys, in short. She repeats each experiment. So look at the reading. When she's taking, so she's having the variable mass, and based on that variable mass, she's having the variable reading, right? Does this thing make sense? Assume that the melting point, okay, so that means the melting point or the freezing point, ek hi baat hai, guys, melting point or freezing point is the same thing. So the freezing point is given to me as 0 degrees Celsius. So that is your TF naught of the pure solvent, it is not 0 degrees Celsius. Answer the following question. One temperature in the second set of result does not fit the pattern. So what do you think, guys, which temperature does not fit the pattern? Can I say the third one? Because there's a huge variation. In all the other cases, the variation is hardly 0.1, 0.2 like that. But in case of third, we have a huge variation of around 2.5 degrees Celsius. So that's not correct. Correct? And what can be the reason? Because the amount of salt added is in the same sequence, right? What can be the possible reason? Why we are saying? Because we are adding the salt in a proper trend, 0.1, 0.1, 0.1. We are having the increase by the amount of 0.1 only, na? So the corresponding increase in the temperature should also be such that. How can we say in this case it's altogether 2.5, although we have the same mass added? Simple. Then the next question that they're asking, why did Henna collect 2 set of results? Why did she collect 2 set of results? To avoid error. Whenever we do the rectification or whenever we have the repetition of the experiment, that is always to get more accurate answers. Simple. And in place of NaCl, if Henna had used glucose, what would have been the melting point of the solution with 0.6 gram of glucose in it. So guys, we know for NaCl, the Wandt-Hoff factor will be 2. For glucose, the Wandt-Hoff factor will be 1. So the depression would be just, you have to look at the two formulas, right? For glucose delta TF, for NaCl delta TF is given to us. We can use that for finding the glucose ka part. Make sense? So that is something we can do. So look, if you're confused, delta TF for NaCl is already given to me. That is how much? For 0.6 gram, they're asking us. So, bacha, for 0.6 gram, what is the delta TF? 3.8, which will be equal to 2I into Kf into molality. And we can calculate the molality. How exactly can we calculate the molality? We have every value now. We are adding 0.6 gram of NaCl. So 0.6 into 58.5, that is the molar mass of NaCl, into, my bad, into 1000 divided by 100. Why 100? Because we are, sorry, into 1000 divided by 10. Because we are taking 10 ml of the solvent. Now, delta TF of glucose is that something that we have to find. Okay, no worries. We can do that. So that would be Wandt-Hoff factor will be 1. The value of Kf will remain same because we have the same solvent. 0.6 is the same mass. The mass of glucose is 180 into 1000 upon 10. So you can divide the two expressions and you can calculate this delta TF. Simple. And what is the prediction? Okay, let's see. What is the predicted melting point if 1.2 gram of salt is added? So guys, what will be the predicted melting point? 6.2. Because in 1.2, it will be 6.2. You are having the increment of 2 from here now. 3.8, then 5.1, then 6.4. Or you can, sorry, 6.4. So to look at the difference. So the difference is 3.8 to 5.1. How much is the difference? 5 point, chalo. Let's see 5.1 to 6.4. How much is the difference? 0.3, 1.3. Correct? Or there's another way of looking at it. For 0.6 gram bacha, what is the depression? For 0.6 gram of glucose, we have the depression as 3.8. So can't I say for 1.2 gram, the depression will be 3.8 times of 2? Because you are doing the double amount and colligative properties are depending on the mass or on the number of particles. So if you are double the amount, you double the number of particles. So your colligative property will also double. Make sense? And section E, guys, you have long answer type questions. So that is something also you can do. So overall, if we analyze the trend of the question paper, guys, the question paper was not, I would say, very simple. It was not too difficult as well. Somewhat moderate level. And the best part that I felt about the question paper is they have distributed or they tried to took every aspect of a chapter. Like for chemical kinetics, they make sure that they have Arrhenius equation. They make sure they have, for electrochemistry, they make sure they have galvanic cell. They make sure they have electrolytic cell. So they have tried to touch every aspect of the chapter. So the distribution of the marks I felt is very good. Yes, for one chapter that I told you, alcohol, ether and phenol, I felt somewhat it can be increased. But there were many objective kind of questions that was asked, which was ultimately compensating for this whole part. Okay. So I hope, guys, whatever discussions we had today must have given you an insight about your current preparation level, and you will be making sure and just make sure that whatever you have analyzed today, your preparation should be aligned according to that. If you feel that, yes, I am able to answer each and every question of electrochemistry, so that means you are well reversed with that topic. You don't have to go through that once again. But yes, definitely you can practice as many questions as you want, bacha. There's no harm in doing the practice questions. Okay. So I hope you must have liked the session today. So guys, whatever subjects are left, the same discussion will be done by other experts, faculties as well. So make sure that you are watching the sessions which are ultimately going to be helpful for your preparation only. Okay. And those who have joined for a very first time, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, guys. Thank you so much for your time. Hope to see you all again with some other interesting content and with some other additional information or important information that we want to communicate to you students. So see you guys soon. Thank you so much. Take care, guys. Tata. Bye-bye.